Howdy there, partner. Welcome back to the deep dive.
Always a pleasure.
You brought us a whole heap of notes. Today we're going to be wrangling some serious numbers,
Yeah.
trying to figure out just how this here Bitcoin thing has taken over the world. Y'all were curious about how fast it's spreading. And your sources, they point to a pretty interesting comparison to the internet back in the good old days.
The early days of the internet, for sure.
We're going to dig into that and see if we can't paint a picture for you of what this all means for the future, for you and me.
Exactly. Your notes show a lot of interest in how quickly Bitcoin is gaining traction around the world. And the comparisons to the internet's adoption rate, they're pretty fascinating. We're going to try to break all that down, give you some perspective.
Now, remember back when the internet was brand new?
Oh, I do.
We ain't talking about dial-up and all that. Bless its heart.
No screeching modems today.
We're talking about a whole new digital frontier, and it seems like folks are rushing to get in on this Bitcoin thing faster than you can say blockchain. So let's jump right in, shall we?
Let's do it.
Right off the bat, one of your sources claims, and I quote, Bitcoin is outpacing the internet in adoption speed. Now that'll get your attention.
It does indeed. The data suggest a pretty compelling comparison. We can look back at how the internet grew in its early days, around 1990. Compare that to Bitcoin, starting around 2014. Both of them started out slow, but steady.
Gradual, but consistent.
Exactly. That initial phase, laying the foundation, it's crucial to understanding what came next.
All right, so things start getting really interesting when we hit that first big milestone. Your notes say that around 2019, Bitcoin crossed the 100 million user mark. That's a whole lot of folks dipping their toes in the water.
Right. And if we compare that to the internet,
Yeah.
it hit that same level of adoption around 1995.
Okay, so.
Now remember, the internet had about a 24-year head start. So this suggests that Bitcoin's initial appeal was just as strong, if not stronger. Those early adoption curves running neck and neck.
I can just picture it.
It's quite a sight. Now hold on to your hats, folks, because this is where things really start to take off. By 2021, your sources say Bitcoin adoption skyrocketed past 200 million users.
It was a significant jump.
That's like doubling your money at the poker table.
It was a serious acceleration. For context, the internet didn't reach 200 million users until 1997. So even with that head start, Bitcoin seems to be climbing that adoption ladder much faster.
Much faster.
The time it took Bitcoin to double its users, from 100 million to 200 million, it was way shorter than it took the internet. It's like Bitcoin shifted into a whole new gear.
Now that's what I'm talking about. But the real kicker, the piece of news that'll make your jaw drop, is this. By 2024, Bitcoin blew past 400 million users.
It's incredible.
And your source makes it clear. This happened faster than the internet did in its early days.
A truly remarkable milestone.
And that's more people than live in the whole dang USA. It really underscores the point we've been making about the pace of adoption. If we connect this to the bigger picture, it suggests a growing global appetite for Bitcoin. And accessibility, too, outpacing even the early enthusiasm for the internet. Now, this raises a big question. What's fueling this rapid climb? Your sources, they touch on a few key factors.
Lay it on us.
Well, for one, the internet itself laid the groundwork for digital interaction. Online transactions, all that. Bitcoin didn't have to start from scratch teaching people the basics of using a digital platform. That gave it a huge advantage right out of the gate.
That makes sense.
And there's also a growing awareness of the limitations of our current financial systems.
Right.
Plus, it's gotten easier to access Bitcoin with all these user-friendly platforms popping up. And then you've got global economic factors driving demand for alternative investments. People are looking for a way to protect their wealth.
So what does all this mean for the everyday fellow listening at home? Well, it tells us that Bitcoin ain't just some flash in the pan.
It's here to stay.
It's putting down roots deeper than a pecan tree in Georgia clay. Bitcoin ain't just for the techies anymore.
No.
It's going mainstream faster than a bluegrass tune at a hoedown.
That's a good way to put it. Understanding this rapid adoption rate, it's key. It hints at a potentially huge role for Bitcoin in the future of finance. It's not just about how many users there are, it's about the network effect. The more people use it, the more valuable it becomes.
That's the beauty of it.
Exactly. And there's a surge in mainstream interest. More and more folks are realizing that this ain't just digital monopoly money. It's a fundamental shift in how we think about money, how we interact with value.
Well, partner, we've covered a lot of ground today, seeing how Bitcoin is spreading like wildfire. Hopefully this deep dive has shed some light on things for y'all.
Definitely.
Makes a fella think.
We've looked at the evidence, and it seems pretty clear that Bitcoin is outpacing the internet in its early adoption. hitting those user milestones faster and faster.
Speaks volumes.
It really does. There's a real hunger out there for a truly digital, scarce form of money.
So, as y'all go about your day, think about this. Bitcoin is reaching folks all over the globe at an unbelievable pace, even faster than the very technology that made it possible.
It's remarkable.
Are we seeing the birth of a whole new financial system? A system where sound money is king? That's something to ponder, ain't it?
It certainly is.
Y'all come back now, you hear?
Until next time.